So I decided to address one of the fears I've had since I was young. And it's not the type of fear you would think about, actually. It's more about adopting someone and them ending your life. It's about showing someone the love that you believe they deserve because they never got that type of love, whether it's a young child, an infant, a young teenager, a young man. It doesn't matter. Just showing them the love you believe they deserve that they never got by opening your door up to them, inviting them into your home, making them a part of your family, and then to have them turn around and stab you in the back. Literally. Just a few months ago, a young man in Atlanta did what? And I'm not sure if y'all heard about this story, but he shot his stepfather multiple times because his stepfather told him to do a certain chore. I'm not sure exactly what chore it was, but they had some words, and the young man shot his stepfather, stole his car, and drove off with it. There was a manhunt for this young man. There was a manhunt. And the mother, of course, was more concerned about her son than she was for the man that she married, the man that her son murdered. Yeah, exactly. So, excuse me if that was a fear of mine when I was younger, because I'm the type of person that has a big heart, and I believe in opening your door up to certain people, especially children, because the children are the future and we need to protect them. But how can you trust a child that's actually not yours? Let me rephrase that. How can you trust a child 100% that did not come from you, that does not resemble you in any way, that does not have your blood running through their veins? Well, this is a perfect example of what I feared growing up.
Hey, Clayton, we want to hear from you. What happened that night? How are you holding up, Clayton?
That's the 11-year-old accused of shooting his adopted father, heading into court, facing the judge today.
Now, y'all see how they put boy 11 accused of offing father appears in court, but they did not include the fact that this was his adopted father. Yeah, that's what they should have put right in between that word and that word. Adopted father. He deleted his adopted father, not his father, because you rarely see that happen, even though it does happen in some rare cases. It rarely happens. But to this point where you took out your adopted father, that to me is just crazy.
Thanks for being here at 6. I'm Joel D. Smith. You heard the voice of Lily Sexton trying to talk to Dietz on the way into the courtroom as they discussed those charges. Here's Lily right now with more of what we learned today. Lily.
That's right. Today was the first time we got to hear from the lawyer representing 11-year-old Clayton Dietz. Now, they waived inside the courtroom. Dietz waived his right to this preliminary hearing as family members gathered for the child's first day in court. This is Clayton as he walked into the courtroom, accused of shooting his adopted family.
Hi, Clayton. Clayton ain't shit. Matter of fact, I don't even know why they are asking him questions so softly. Hey, Clayton, how is it going, Clayton? How do you feel, Clayton? How did it feel deleting your father, your adopted father, Clayton? Why y'all even talking to him like that? A boy 11 who commits this type of crime is despicable to me, and I would treat him exactly how I do an adult, because when you took that gun and you ended that man's life, that man that welcomed you into his home, that man that opened up his doors to you when you had no one else, all because of a Nintendo Switch, oh, I best believe I would treat you like the man they throw under the jail, because that's exactly where you would be.
He had no comment outside.
Of course he doesn't.
According to police, the shooting happened in the middle of the night on January 13th, on Clayton's 11th birthday.
Oh, wow. And you deleted this man on your birthday? On your 11th birthday. So you were truly 10. You were still 10. You just turned 11. You didn't even get to experience that age yet. So you were still 10, and you deleted. I tell you what, if y'all allow this young boy to get out of jail, I guarantee you he's going to delete someone else.
Now,
Wow.
during today's preliminary hearing, Clayton and his attorney had the opportunity to convince a judge that there was not enough evidence to bring this case to trial. They decided to waive that right. The judge asked Clayton directly if he was sure of this decision. The child responded yes. The entire proceeding lasting under 5 minutes. Clayton was then escorted out, handcuffs on his hands and feet. Tripping over himself, he told his mother, quote, "It hurts." I spoke to his lawyer. He said he had no comment on their decision to waive today's hearing, but laid out his plans for the trial.
My goal is going to be to try and get him into juvenile court.
Juvenile court?
Now,
There is no juvenile court for this boy. Are you serious? There is no juvenile court. See, this is exactly what's going to happen, right? They're going to trial him as a juvenile. He goes to juvenile court. Then he gets locked up as a juvenile. He doesn't go to the maximum. He doesn't go there. He doesn't go to the high security prison. He's treated as a juvenile. They let him out in 10 years by the time he's 21. By 22, I guarantee you he offs somebody else. That's exactly what's going to happen. Trust and believe. Why do I say that? Because for you to simply end a man's life, all because he told you to go to bed on your birthday without your Nintendo Switch, you have to wonder what kind of mind this boy has. What kind of brain is he functioning with? Matter of fact, his brain can't be functioning correctly because for you to actually end a man's life who showed you that type of love, and I guarantee you, he probably bought him that Nintendo Switch too, that is despicable. And we're going to get into the part that the father played in this later.
Dietz is currently charged as an adult, as all juveniles are when they are facing homicide charges. For now, we're in Perry County, Lily Sexton, CBS 21 News.
Good.
Thanks for staying with us here at 5:30. I'm Joel D. Smith. Behind me, you see 11-year-old Clayton Dietz accused of shooting and killing his father in their Perry County home. He was in court for the first time today, being charged as an adult with criminal homicide after that shooting. Actually happened on his birthday, January 13th. CBS 21's Lily Sexton was outside the courthouse today, was checking things out inside as well. Saw a lot of different things. Were you trying to talk to him on the way in?
I tried. This was the first time we saw or potentially could hear from Clayton Dietz, so I did approach him on his way into the courtroom. First question I asked him was, "We do want to hear from you, Clayton, so what happened on that day?" He didn't have any comment, but I also followed up with, "How are you doing?" As we know, he's been in jail. He's only 11 years old.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is how men treat criminals. And this young boy, he's a criminal. It's plain and simple. He's a criminal. Now, you may have certain people, certain men, mostly women that will, have some sympathy for this young boy. I honestly don't, because when I was 11, I wasn't thinking about shooting anyone. When I was 11, I wasn't thinking about shooting my father. When I was 11, I was thinking about playing games, because if you think about it now, guess what? He doesn't have any games to play. Not where you're going at all, Clayton. Trust and believe. Where you're going, there's another type of game that they're going to play with you. Just because you ended a man's life without thinking. And that's another thing we have to think about too. What type of young boy, young man will end his father's life like this for such a stupid reason and not actually think about the consequences? Because what did he actually think was going to happen? Y'all were going to continue on living? You weren't going to be charged for deleting a man who took you into his home? You're about to get locked up. Again, I don't have any sympathy for anyone who commits crimes like this, anyone who takes another person's life.
He's very young, but the rules in Pennsylvania are very clear. If you're over 10 years old and you are accused of killing someone, you are charged as an adult. That's the way it works.
That's how it should be.
Let's talk about what happened in the courtroom today. What was the process in there?
The hearing itself was very fast. It was under 5 minutes because they waived their right to this preliminary hearing. So
because he knows
outside
he's
the courtroom,
guilty.
I was able to speak to the lawyer, and he kind of laid out his plans for me very quickly about what he wants to do for this trial and his reasoning for waiving this hearing. And he said that he wants to try to get Clayton to be charged as a juvenile. So that process would be kind of unprecedented because, as you said, here in Pennsylvania, if you're charged with homicide, you're charged as an adult. So we have to see how this plays out.
It's very difficult to get it kicked back down to the juvenile level. But let's talk about his motivation that we've learned through court documents.
And according to police, that's when he shot his father while he was sleeping. According to police in that interview room, they asked him what he thought would happen when he shot his father, and he said that he hadn't thought that far.
Right.
So I don't think this, according to this affidavit, it wasn't a thought out plan. It was something that happened in the moment.
Now, let's point out the fact that this father left his gun knowing that he had a young boy, 11, in the home. So now that young boy is looking for his Nintendo Switch, finds a gun. Now, again, what goes through your mind as an 11-year-old, really a 10-year-old, to think, let me grab this gun and shoot my stepfather while he is asleep and nothing is going to happen to me? As if that's going to make things better. Now, it's that father's fault also. He is to blame for laying the gun out and not having that gun locked up, knowing that he has a young child in the home, knowing that he has a child that's not even his in the home. Yes, all of that plays a factor in him losing his life. So yes, he has a part to play in it as well. Am I saying it's good? Of course not. I would never say that. But the father played a part in him losing his life, and this young boy has a lesson to learn. Let's follow this story and see exactly what happens to Clayton and how much time he gets. He is going to get some serious time. Like I said, if they let him out early this time, next time, Clayton might take out more than just one person. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.